I spent 5 more hours yesterday trying to learn all the mechanics there are about the flowers. I think I have a basic understanding now, and I'm not sure yet about how to make the rare flowers and everything. I do not have the formula yet. So this will be a part 1 of all the basics, and later I will be a part 2 about the strategy of how to make super rare flowers. But for now, we'll talk about all the basics of flower planting and farming in Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Let's go! Each island gets a random native flowers. There are 4 types of flowers at the moment in the game, but we have seen 2 more in the trailer. For now, there are the bell buttons, tulias, dandelions, and penstemon. Each of them have 3 base colors. The 12 seeds that you get each day randomly on your island are always going to be the native one that you have on your island. And they will always only give you those base 3 colors. In level 3, 5, and 7 of Wish Me Mel, you will get boxes like the character boxes you get when you are best friend with the character. That will give you a hat. In the middle of those hat boxes, you will see the boxes with the seeds that you get from Wish Me Mel, and when you open them, technically you should have the 3 other seeds that are not the native ones from your island. But if you speed it up like me, the island might not have known which was your base seed and did not give you one of the style of seeds, and you need to go trade with some people so you can go in the official Discord. At level 6 of friendship with Wish Me Mel, you get the quest Green Thumb, and she explains you how the seed dispenser works. For that, you need to be at least on day 4 of planting, because this is when your flower will bloom, and that you will have actually a flower in your inventory that you can have picked up. And then she explains that you can put it in the seed dispenser, and this is a copy. So you have a picked up flower, whatever the color this is, you can put it in the seed dispenser and it will return the exact seed to plant that again. But you'll notice that you get rare color flowers that you can make, we're not sure exactly how, by being close to other flowers. We'll talk about that more in the future guide. Those you can get seeds, but if you get a second square under, that's either a gradient or a radial gradient, those are specific patterns, and those you cannot get a seed from that. Only the normal or the rare colors can get a seed. You can put how many you want. There's not a minimum of 10 like in the fish fountain. So you put 3 flowers, you'll get 3 seeds for exactly the same flowers that you have put in. In the friendship level 8 of Wish Me Mel, you will get the quest Mulch Be Well, and that will explain you how to use the composter. On the composter, you can put picked up flowers, package of seeds, or basic seeds, or sprouts. And all of that can turn into fertilizer. You are allowed to compost flowers with a pattern, but please don't. Why would you do that? Like for the seed dispenser, the composter, you do not need to fill it all to 10. You can put as many as you want and you will get as many as you put. If you want to get more fertilizer also before you get to these, you can do one more time the island challenges. After you've beat the island challenge in gold, the 4th time you do it, you'll get a fertilizer. And after that, you'll get only shinies. So you can get 3 fertilizers like that if you do all the 3 island challenges. The fertilizers can be used on any stage of the growth of the flower. That takes 4 days. We are not sure yet about the odds of if you fertilize it every day, will it get a better flower. We'll talk about that in part 2 when we know more. But you're fertilizing the planted flower, and if you later pick up the flower, you will need to refertilize it again and re-water it again. So the flower itself is not fertilized, and the flower bed, like a dome that you planted on, is also not fertilized. Is the fact that the flower is planted in it that you water and fertilize, because if you pick it up and plant it back, it's not watered and it's not fertilized anymore. What can you do with the flowers? You can put them in the flower beds in front of some of the houses and in the Merry Meadow Plaza. You can put them and exchange them or just remove them and save, and so you will never lose your flowers by putting them in the flower beds. You can also trade grown, like picked up flowers. I do not suggest trading packaged seeds because they can turn into your native seed, and that will defy the purpose because you will already have that seed. So only trade picked up flowers with other people if you want, and then you can put them in the seed dispenser to make the seeds and then plant them. You can put them in the seed dispenser to transform them into seeds. You can put them in the compost bin to turn them into fertilizer. You cannot harm flowers by running into it like in Animal Crossing, so don't worry. When you plant the flower, you first see like the kind of seed in the ground, then you water it and you see a first sprout. Then on the second day, if you water the sprout, you'll see a bigger sprout. On the third day, you'll see a bud that is closed, and on the fourth day, you see the flower is open and is bloomed. Some people have said that if you fertilize it when it's a bud, you can see the color changing. I was able to see that, but it's not really clear if it changes right away, if you go out of the region and come back, restart the game and come back. We're not really sure about that, also we'll talk about that in part 2. Chelsea said if you leave space around your flowers, you'll have possibility of it spawning a new flower. So you can either put some space all around your flowers, do some kind of patterns, we're not sure yet, or people that have a big rectangle of flowers have seen that right after the rectangle here on the next reset you might have new spots of just the dirt with the seed on top of it. It means that it's something that have spawned naturally, and it could be a new color maybe, or it could just be a regular color. I've had that for 2 and it was just colors that I already had. Once you reach day 4 of the flower, you can pick it and then the flower appears in your inventory. If you re-water this plot, you will see that you have the bud again. So the next day you'll have another of that flower. So you can super quickly be overwhelmed with flower, so I recommend that you do not need to replant all these new seeds, for example, that you get. You can actually turn them into fertilizer. So the more fertilizer you have for all your flowers, the best. So once we'll know the exact pattern that we should put the flower in, maybe that will help us know how many actually we get, but you'll get more and more each day, so you don't actually need to replant all these because you will fill all your plots so quickly. But if you have found one rare cauliflower or one pattern flower, Chelsea said that it's best to leave space around it and do not crowd it with other seeds, because apparently there's still the chance of it spawning it again. And I had one pattern flower and the second day it made me another one of the same pattern flower. So I don't know if we fertilize it again will it change, but technically you'll have this and you can keep making this pattern flower, and you can trade the flower to someone, but they will not be able to make a seed and plant this exact pattern flower. Talking about patterns, there's the first box with the color and there's another box with the pattern, and it's either a gradient from light to dark or a radial gradient from light to dark. And the first one, at the stem you'll have the color of your base flower. So if your flower was blue, you'll have at the base some blue and it will go into a gradient to white, or green to white, or mine is red to white. If the base color is actually white, at least for the penstemon, you will have a gradient from white to pink. So this is the white gradient, and you will not get a flower that is from blue to pink, for example. It's always white to something or something to white. And the radial one, for now, I don't think we've seen people having this pattern yet, but we've seen on the trailer, we've seen that, and you see the menu and then the planted flowers, and if you compare, you see that there's a hard edge of white around some of the flowers, and they are the ones that have these radial gradients. So this is what these actually do. At the level 10 of My Sweet Piano, you get the Dig It Up quest, and that will allow you to make a trowel. And with this trowel, you can move your flowers around. You can pick up your sprouts or flowers and put them in the composter, or you can plant them somewhere else. But each time that you pick them up, if you already watered them and fertilize them, it is lost. So I lost so much fertilizer doing that because I wanted a specific pattern and I had difficulty finding what it was. So be careful, do all your planting, and then when you're good, you water and you fertilize for the day. So if you can, try to fertilize all your flowers daily so that you have more chances of getting rare flowers. You can actually see the future color of a flower by looking at the seed package or the bloom in your inventory. If you use your island bouquets, it will respawn the seeds that you can pick up around the meadow, like the ones on the ground, like any normal resource that you would pick up, but it does not affect any of the growing of the flowers or anything. People have tried with top hats to see if you pick up a flower you get a second one, but they did not have any chance for that. But top hat's ability is so low that maybe there's not significant quantity of flowers yet to discover that. So we are not sure yet. Every question that we have that I have not answered in this guide, I will do that in part 2 of the flower guide. Let me know your questions in the comment, and in the meantime, if you want to know how to reach the merry meadow and start planting flowers, click on this video over there. Bye bye!